That ABS though. Alright nerds, here we go. Alright nerds, so we're on the bike, we're on Fury, finally. I know the whole first moto vlog is just like me driving around in my truck going to goddamn national monuments and stuff like that. But we're on Fury and we are gonna go do some errands. Oh shit, I forgot to put my, I'm not sure if you can see it, but my saddlebags are open and just kind of flapping around. So, oh yeah, they're doing stupid construction up here. Over here, people will just straight up try to be like traffic cops. And they will just block you and go like 10 miles an hour through the construction zone. It's posted up at 45 when you're not going 45. And I'm about to stop, do them saddlebags. And I gotta talk to the dentist to see about doing some payments. So I'll see you all in a second. So I did lose a big chunk of video. The file was corrupted. There's like nothing I can do about it. Basically, to start where we left off and to start where we started, I was talking about trading in motorcycles. More specifically, trading up your current bike. The thing is that I was bringing up is that some people want to trade in their current bike to go into a bigger bike. So I was talking about, by the way, we're washing the bike because it is way dirty. But I was talking about how I've never seen a video specifically talking about opinions on trading up into a bigger bike. So I've seen a lot of videos about just generally trading up where they're like, hey, I finally did it. But no opinions on if you should do it. The main point in all the video footage that I lost was that it really depends on you if you think you should trade up or not, and then I'll cut back to the other footage now. So this is the only thing I could think of because it started giving me tons of issues again. So I gotta check it out when I get home and see what's going on with it, because like as soon as I turn it on, it's just, it freezes. Like I can get to a couple menus and then it freezes. We will figure it out. I was sitting in the sun too doing all this. It was hot. So part of me wants to go driving around. Like I want to go to Best Buy and see if they got any GoPro stuffs, which I know they do, but I'm also like super broke, so I doubt it. Also shout out to TNS Vapors. They are awesome. If you're vaping, bro, vaping. I think, in all honesty, we're probably just gonna head back home. I gotta look up what to do with the GoPro, why it's giving me these issues, and then gotta take a shower and shave, because my beard is growing in kind of scraggly. It's a scraggle beard. And I want to take a look at the footage and see if there's any errors, because at one point it did say SD error, so hopefully I don't have any errors. I did get a new SD card, so if there is something wrong with the old one, I could switch it out. And I did get a backup battery, so I got that going for me too. I'm also going to take 66 because it leads pretty much right up to my house, and I won't be shouting all loud. I don't know, in future vlogs, I'm probably going to take the highway. I like getting to work early in the morning. That's like my fucking jam. I mean, I can get to work at around the same time if I take 66 down, but the highway's like fun because you can go fast, and who doesn't like going fast? And I also never do this. I never put it in neutral when I go to a light, but I want to make sure I put my fucking e-juice in there. I'm like a little forgetful about things, so I just wanted to make sure I got my shit right. This is gonna be so tight. Fucking ABS saving my life. So we're good to go. Got my keys, got my wallet. GoPro is still recording. Hopefully. Woo-woo. Also, kind of fuck this baseball field. Just kinda. They suck a little bit. Just a little bit. Woo-hoo! Also, I'm sorry if my pipes are pretty loud. I got them short shots. I mean, it's like you have to if you're on an iron. I mean, you don't have to, but they look good. Everybody does it. I'm sure you've heard that a billion times. But I like the short shots. I wanted to get the big radius, but at the time, the money that I had just allowed for the short shots. So that's what I went with. Also, that's another thing that's awesome about the iron, as I'm sure you know. When it comes to Sportsters, the aftermarket is huge. That's another reason why I'm keeping this bike. And I doubt I will ever trade it in or trade up. It's just because the aftermarket is so large, it makes it easy to really make this bike your own. There are a multitude of reasons why I love this bike, but the aftermarket is definitely one of them. And it's a big reason. It's not the only reason. If you ever are thinking about trading up, that's something you should keep in mind. If you're trading up to a newer Harley, the Softails have a pretty good aftermarket, but in comparison to the things that you can do on a Sportster to the Softails, the Sportster, in my opinion, wins hands down. If you're just going for aftermarket parts, because I mean, honestly, if you can fabricate and you can weld and you can do all of that stuff, you could probably do everything you want to any bike or car that you own. And that guy's like super fucking angry. He's like, these goddamn kids love America. I hate everybody else. But the aftermarket is fantastic. The one thing, if I were to get into some cons and reasons why you should trade up into a bigger bike, it would definitely have to be, for me, and this can be an easy fix if you go into the aftermarket, but for me, one of the reasons to trade up would be the small peanut tank. I can't go as far as some of the bigger bikes. That is one reason to trade up. For me, go into the aftermarket, you can easily get a bigger replacement tank. I have perused a couple times. I have looked around and I found some cool stuff. My main thought right now is that I want to get another tank, paint it basically the same denim black, do a custom paint job, not some pinstriping just because it isn't my vibe right now. I want to do some lettering on the tank and then throw on a Harley emblem instead of the paint job. I do like the paint job for the iron, but I feel like a custom emblem would be really awesome along with a custom, you know, detailing type of thing on there. But I do like the flat black. With Castle Bravo, I have made thoughts to make it a flat black truck. With my cars before then, I have thought about doing flat black. It is something I like. It sucks in this heat, but it looks so damn cool that you can't help it, you know? You're like, I gotta do a flat black. Nice, bro. But the tank is one reason for me. Another reason, and like I said, all of these things can probably be fixed in the aftermarket. And these might be superficial reasons, but they were reasons that I have thought about trading this bike up. But the tank, the seat, I already fixed that issue. I just looked at my crotch. I already fixed that issue. I got a Mustang Fastback. I didn't go Saddleman. I really do like the Mustang. It is super comfortable. I will do a review maybe later on that, but the seat can easily be fixed, and the suspension, that can easily be fixed. That is one thing that I'm looking about doing for my next mod, is taking some air shocks off of like a sports glide or a street glide or one of them bigger bikes, one of them baggers. I'm gonna take air shocks and put them onto Fury, and I think that would. What are you doing? It's like you wanted to get over, but I don't know what you're doing. That's my biggest issue with people, man. Pay attention. When a lane ends, it has a sign that says, hey, this lane ends. And people don't fucking pay attention. Anyways, I'm thinking about putting the air shocks on the bike, and it will be way more comfortable. Other things are like the front, the forks, the fork tubes, all that stuff. But those are just a couple reasons why you might want to trade up. Also, those reasons can be fixed in the aftermarket or with just simple mods when it comes to the shocks on the back. You can put air shocks on the back and it'll be way more comfortable. Those are a couple reasons why I've thought about trading up. The reasons why I've decided to keep this bike are hugely because of sentimental value. This is my first Harley, my first motorcycle in general. I pseudo had a dirt bike, it was my dad's, and I almost decapitated myself on it, but that's a story for another time. This is technically my first motorcycle. I learned how to ride on this, and so it's been about a year since I have been riding and since I've owned this bike. One thing for me is that I have put every mile on this motorcycle myself. So that's one huge reason why I'm keeping it. Also, in town, the maneuverability of the Sportsters is fantastic. So much easier to move around in town than like a big V-twin, just a bigger bike in general. That's one reason why. Plus, my plan as of now is once my truck is paid off, once this is paid off, my initial thought is I am going to keep this bike forever. This is going to be like an heirloom bike. If I ever have kids, one day, hopefully, I will pass this down to my children. Or if I die, God forbid, I will give this to like nieces and nephews type of thing. This is going to be my heirloom bike. I'm going to have this bike forever. So my plans, getting back to that, are when I have to start doing major engine work, I am going to change the complete look from the bobber look that I'm going for to like a rat rod. I'm going to rat this thing out so sick. That is the plan. I've already got pipes, everything picked out for the most part. Other thing that I'm going to do is, I've always heard never to subtract from your stable, but always to add to the motorcycles that you own. Just because when you sell something, you're like, fuck, I wish I would have kept that bike. You know, god damn it, why am I so stupid? And that doesn't have to go specifically for motorcycles, that just goes for anything. I had a PS Vita once. Alright, so now we're back. So one thing that was also mentioned in the video footage that was lost was that you should technically buy used. I bought new just because it's what made the most sense for me. I highly recommend buying used. This just worked out for me in the long run. I am going to pay this off first. Once this is paid off, I am going to buy something like a Dyna, because you can get an old Dyna pretty cheap. Get that good soapy water. I'm going to turn that into like a daily driver type thing. Because ideally, I'm going to maybe make that like my daily driver or something. But I also love this bike. So it really depends on me, on you. So if you are thinking about trading up, it's really up to you. I'm sorry to leave it at that, but it really just depends on how you feel about your current bike. If there is sentimental value, if there is specific reasons why you're not trading up. I'm not sure if we covered it in the video, but like some of the things that the reasons why I wanted to trade up was because I got the stock Harley shocks and the seat initially, but I've got this Mustang Fastback now, so handlebars, all of that stuff. Those are reasons why you might want to trade up. Sentimentally, this bike means a lot to me. This is my first bike that I've ever owned. This is my first Harley. I got it in the year 2018. It's a 2018 Iron 883, and there are things that I want to do to it. Like I'm going to put a 1200 kit on it eventually. It's got the power that I need, just not what I want sometimes. And that's most of what it comes down to, because a lot of those guys, like, I think it was SRK Cycles said it, I think John Maxwell said it as well, that basically, like, it's more fun to drive a slower bike fast. Like this. This is fun to go fast. But it's not as fun to drive a fast bike slow. And most of the time when you're riding those bigger bikes, you're stuck in traffic. So what's the point to even having a bigger bike at that point? Like I said, banging around town, this thing works perfect for me. And it's got what I need. Just not what I want sometimes. And what I want really just is on the highway when I'm going 80 plus miles an hour. But I like sticking to 80, so that's what I go. So we are going to go from dirty to clean. So I'm not sure if you could tell, it is cleaner. I got it all cleaned up, nice and shiny. Most of the time, and that's even clean now too. I mean, I do live on a dirt road. Most of the time it is dirty. That's just how it is. I mean, it's all gravel out there, so. But it's nice and clean. I am happy. I'm sure Fury is happy. I got some other stuff I gotta do in the house. I gotta clean those side mirrors. Ew. But I got other stuff I gotta do. So, sorry about the video kind of cutting out and stuff, and I'm going to look into the GoPro issue, see if I can figure it out. I found one thing while I was cleaning that said it might be an update issue, memory card issue, so I'm going to look into that and see if I can figure it out. Yeah, so at the end of the day, it really just depends on how you feel about your bike. I mean, I am completely happy with this bike. It is a fantastic bike, does everything I need, it's super pretty. I get compliments on it all the time. People love the iron. I mean, it's just how it is. People are infatuated with it. It's a fantastic looking bike. It's so pretty. Maybe I'll make a follow-up video once I get the GoPro going and have more cohesive thought flow. In the meantime, I'm going to be outies. Make sure to subscribe. Smash that like button. And if you don't like the video, thumbs down. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.